Hello. Welcome to Migraine Mastery. This is a masterclass on managing and overcoming chronic migraines. I'm Dr. Chris Stefano. Welcome. First thing I'd like to go over here is what is a migraine? And what we're going to do is just our definition from Mayo Clinic. It's not really a great definition, but it's as good as we're going to get. During a migraine, you might have pain, usually on one side of your head, but often on both sides. Pain that throbs or pulses, sensitivity to light, sound, and sometimes smell, and touch, nausea and vomiting. This is not even going into there's aura, there's not aura, there's the scale of pain. Some of it is absolutely debilitating, you're not going to get out of bed for a week. Other times, it's totally functional, it's annoying, it gets in the way. So, the types of migraines, with or without aura, all of the stuff we spoke about on the previous slide. If you're diagnosed with it, you have it. I like to go into the triggers, because this is really what's going to make the migraine. What's going to cause it? Is it going to be food, stress, sleep, position, movement, smells, or just flat out life? Is it unknown, seemingly? Because it's really not going to be an unknown once we start to troubleshoot. We can have the causes of genetics. If you have, let's say, the MTHFR mutation, then certain B vitamins are going to trigger it. You won't even see the pattern until you see the problem. You don't see the problem until you find out that could even be an issue. So this is all diving into the depth. We have our various causes, genetic, like MTHFR as just mentioned, allergies, pregnancy can cause it, pregnancy can fix it, because it's underlying that is the hormonal issues. A head injury, muscle tension, nutritional deficiencies, our treatments, medication, surgeries, Botox, diet, exercise, posture, meditation, mindfulness, there's a whole lot of stuff. So I want you to keep in mind, according to the American Migraine Foundation, 95% of migraines are not properly diagnosed or treated. And that's straight off of the Migraine Foundation. So people who go to doctors for migraines, 95% not properly diagnosed or treated. If you're watching this video, you are in that boat. You have done more medications than I probably even know about. And you're still watching this. Why? Because you know that whatever you've been doing, whatever the doctors have told you, has not been working. If it's been working, it works for a little while, and then, wow, when is this new medication coming out? Because I can't live like this. Or it works sometimes, or it works only if you get it early enough, or it works, but oh my God, here's the side effects. Let's start listing them. Long-term, short-term, medium-term, immediate. These are ugly, these are insidious, these are not something that you really want, but unfortunately you don't have a choice. That's not to mention the expense. That's not to mention the time lost in your life to engage in life. That's not to mention that your job is on the line because you can't make it to work. Sorry, I get carried away. One of the things that's the most common that I see in my practice is an SCM trigger point. That's sternocleidomastoid. That's a muscle. It's a muscle right there on our neck. We all have it. It tends to be a one-sided pain pattern. You know, you squeeze the muscle right there. Mine is a little tight, so if I squeeze it, you can't really see it. It's not jumping right now. It's not that tight. When this muscle is tight, it's going to cause pain right there alongside the head. It's going to cause what we would call sinus pain. So you're going to have pain in the eye, you're going to have pain above the eye, you're going to have pain below the eye, you're going to have pain in the sinus area. That's super, super common for it. This leads to eye issues. So I've had patients who come in, redness in the eye, tearing in the eye, ear infections that don't go away because the SCM is blocking it. It's clogged. You can see right there on the diagram, it causes a pain in the ear, behind the ear. It also has pain that could go to either side of the forehead. It can also cause a vertex headache. You'll see that right there on the diagram, and an occipital headache right there on the back of the head. And neck pain, because it's right there. It's a muscle that's involved in rotation and movement of the head, so it's going to cause neck pain on certain movements. It will exacerbate certain movements. It will have limitations in certain movements. Because the vagus nerve runs through this muscle, the SCM, so closely tied to the vagus. We're going to tie it in with sleep disturbance, appetite disturbance, nausea, even vomiting. So all of that stuff that happens before and during migraines can be attributed to this muscle. It doesn't always It's not always on one-to-one, it's not 100%, but it's usually a pretty strong relationship. There are two heads to the muscle. We're not going to get held up in that minutia at the moment. Trapezius refer pain. So this is your trapezius right there. And you can see that the forward head posture. You've heard about it. If you haven't, find new doctors, because I can almost promise that you have it. It goes along really nicely with anxiety, which I'm sure most of you have as well. Pain in the shoulders, tightness in the neck, pain in the temples, pain in the jaw, pain on head movement, pain, and tightness. This one, you can't miss it. It's a real bear. So I'm going to briefly, I don't have a slide on this because it's really not that easy. So how do you handle an SCM referred pain? That's going to be, or how do you handle an upper tract referred pain? You can put, and I recommend this one particular CBD clinic has a number 5 is the highest strength one. You put it on the tight muscle, and it does loosen it for almost everyone. I have that available in my office. I have a link to my office on the last page. You can contact the office and order it. You can only get it through qualified practitioners. Also, magnesium spray or magnesium supplementation can help immensely with resolving it. And just so many really good. Sorry about that. So many really good things to work with. I'm going to pause right now because I want to put in right here, what do I do? And I'll write down, so you can have this in the slides, CBD clinic number 5, cream, topically on trigger points. So I want you to have that, that's important. So back to our regularly scheduled program. What do I do? I hope we've established that migraines are not a single thing. Migraines are a somewhat difficult and complicated condition. And again, sorry about this. There we go. Good, I just want to make sure that I'm connected. There we go. I do actually know how to write and how to spell, so I will hopefully remember to edit this out. Good. We've established there's not one kind of migraine. This is a diagnosis that's covering a nearly infinite combination of causes and physiological responses. So some people may have an allergy to a food and it manifests as them having swelling in their mouth. In your case, if you have a sensitivity to food, it's going to show up as a headache. So this is a stimulus and a response, and there's a lot of different combinations because migraine is an extremely broad diagnosis. It's non-specific. That's really important to remember because this is why you've had it for so long and tried so many things, but nothing works, because nobody's actually targeting your condition, they're targeting migraines. So we have to start from where you are. We have to find out who you are and where you're starting from, meaning we have to determine through getting your history and getting to know you. Or you could actually do this yourself, but this takes the time, the research, and the commitment to really know where you want to go, where you want to get to. And then we can begin to build a roadmap. And this is where working with a professional with experience is super important. Because this roadmap that I'm speaking of, what is it? This is how we're going to get from point A to point B, how we're going to get from this point of illness to being able to have your life back, being able to play with your kids, being able to become that person that you want to be, the person who you are. And right there I put there, CBD Clinic, number 5 cream, topically on trigger points. Why would I put that right there? Because it's the next slide. And because I wanted it to be somewhere. There's nowhere specific that I loved it. This is a great place because it's right after the trigger points, and it's super, super good on them. Commitment. This is commitment. This is not, oh, I'm going to go to a doctor and get a shot or get a pill. This is, you're going to get out of this what you put in. You have to be able to give the commitment. Your health is not going to come in a pill. You've tried that already. We may use supplements, and I'm not a big fan of them. I do use them almost all the time, but I'm not a big fan of staying on them forever. Supplements can sometimes be used to help catch you up on something you've been missing. So if you're low on magnesium, your muscles are going to tend to be tighter. That's going to tend to cause this tension. That's going to tend to exacerbate the headaches. So yeah, you take magnesium until you're balanced, and then you stop. You can think of it this way. If right in the middle is health, and in a specific area, let's say magnesium, you're at an arbitrary -5. We want the direction of magnesium to go up. So we're going to supplement with magnesium, and when we get you to a 0, to a perfect, to health, we want to stop. Because we don't need to keep going in that direction. We keep going there, now it starts to put you too high on magnesium, which is going to affect calcium levels. It will throw you out of balance. The goal is to get you into balance and maintain balance, not to overshoot. That's where the art and the skill comes in. Always consider the advice of a medical doctor. Do not go against a medical doctor's advice. But don't be afraid to get a new one. There are so many doctors out there who are not listening to you. There are so many doctors out there who will give patients flat out wrong information. Telling a patient, oh, your diet has nothing to do with your migraine. Well, to that person I say, well, knock yourself out. Go have a bag of Doritos and some Chinese food, really kick back and indulge in that MSG. And then tell me how your head feels. Now we can start the conversation on diet, and we can find a new doctor. Because that person, that doctor may be qualified in some respects, but is not giving healthy and useful information for the maximum health of the patient body. There's so many people out there, oh, the diet fixed my life. There's also so many people, the diet has not done anything for me. But to make a blanket statement that diet is not going to help is doing a very big disservice to people who have dietary issues with migraines. So, there's also doctors out there that don't listen because you don't follow their model, because you're a human being and not just some medical experiment. And it's really, really important that you keep that in mind. If a doctor tells you you're wrong, that doctor is wrong. It's your health. You have to take ownership of it. Including if I tell you you're wrong, call me out on it, because it means that we're miscommunicating, because I never want to tell you that. You are your most important commitment. You cannot have anyone else as your primary commitment. Your kids. You cannot serve your kids when you're like this. So you need to make this is a must. It's not a maybe, it's a must. Find the support in your life. Know where you can fall back on when things get tough. Know the people you can call. Have those friends available. Talk to them about it. Know that they're on the same page as you, and they're ready to have your back. Because it will become a little bit tough. It's like, someone quitting smoking needs to have a support network. Someone changing their diet. Someone taking up exercise. Hey, have you exercised today? Someone who's doing mindfulness, meditation. Hey, you seem like you're a little bit stressed. Have you remembered your exercises? It's really going to help to have, when you're in a good place, to put together your team. So when you get to the more challenging parts, you're ready to serve. And there will be challenges in this process. Express your doubts early. So if you have questions, misunderstandings, and doubts whether or not you can succeed, express them early to yourself, to whoever you're working with. Because if you don't, as you progress, when you get to those tough parts, the doubts are going to come up. And that's when you're going to quit. And you're not quitting on anyone other than yourself. It's going to get challenging. You're literally going to be altering things that you may have been doing your entire life. You are going to find parts of yourself you've not faced, and you're going to find strength you didn't know you had. But how do you find that? How do you really cultivate it? Is by overcoming that challenge. There will be resistance. That resistance is you. Just because something did or didn't work for someone else does not mean it will or won't for you. And setbacks will happen. And sometimes those setbacks are, hey, this didn't work for me. That's actually good information. That's okay. This made me worse. Wow. We just uncovered something big. And it may not be the ideal way to do it. But that piece of information is like, wow. So when I got rid of grains and tried out the carnivore diet, I felt awful. It's not what I generally would hear. But if someone does that, we got a ton of information about the grains aren't triggering, there's something in the meat, there may be certain foods that they really should avoid, and it's less common, it's not a common pattern, but we uncovered your pattern. You are your own greatest expert. This is very, very important. You can use me and anyone else to give you ideas and to work with you. That's what I'm here for. But ultimately, you are the one that's going to be the judge of what works based on your feeling, your experience, your gut feeling. Trust yourself over all others. Use your own internal compass and share it. Don't be afraid to open up. That opening up is part of the healing process. So diet. If we're going to look at your diet, the main things we're going to look at caffeine, often a trigger, sometimes a treatment, there's rebound effects, you know about it. Grains, super common allergens, but we don't know which ones for every individual. Believe it or not, oats are a real big problem for a lot of people. Beans, I don't have beans written down. Big problem for some people. Nightshades, huge problem, but not for very many people. But for the ones it is, it's a game changer. And chocolate, we're not discussing that because that's a fight. Where do you even begin? So we have to figure out where you are. How do we find out? We have a discussion. You have a discussion. You reflect with yourself. And one of the ways to do finding out where you are is lifestyle modification. So you can make changes in your diet, your exercise, your sleep, also how you handle stress. The advantages to using this technique: low to moderate cost. You get a couple of books, you do a little internet research, you join a forum or two. It's generally beneficial to make these changes. Wow, I cut sugar out of my diet. I don't really feel a whole lot different for the migraines, but my body feels better because I'm handling my pre-diabetes. Or, wow, I cut out sugar and my head feels 10 times better. That's what we like to hear. The treatment begins as soon as you begin to change this. So let's say, let's see how I do without sugar. Wow, I feel a lot better. Guess what? You diagnosed and treated simultaneously. Absolutely fantastic. The disadvantages. This is a trial and error process. It does take time. It takes commitment. It requires discipline. It's really like, okay, I'm going to sacrifice something like sugar, no chocolate cake, nothing. And I'll see if it makes a difference. So this is putting in the work on the front end. Then there's testing. So this is taking the functional route. So there's functional testing. There's blood, saliva, DNA, urine, hair, stool, etc. This is looking for nutritional deficiencies, genetic markers, metabolic issues, hormonal imbalances, food sensitivities, parasites, and early indicators of underlying dysfunction. The advantages to this: it's a relatively quick turnaround. And the objective markers, let's see how you're doing for your nutritional deficiency that we found on the hair analysis. 6 months later, let's see where we are. So we can get really objective markers. Let's see how your levels of X, Y, and Z are. Let's see how your inflammatory markers are. So it's really rewarding that way. And in some respects, this can be incorporated into the other stuff. It doesn't have to be completely binary. Oh, wow, my A1C tested really high, so let's see how I am now that I've cut sugar out of my diet for 6 months. I feel a lot better. Oh, my inflammation is like 10 times better. Awesome. So, and this is it. We could work. You can work collaboratively with your medical doctor, and I can work collaboratively with my medical doctor. And that would be for very specific tests that they tend to like and order. Vitamin D is always a nice one to check because we want to look for autoimmune markers. The disadvantages. Sometimes the costs, especially on functional tests, those are not covered by insurance. Those can really add up very, very quickly. And sometimes they're too specific. Sometimes we're really just chasing things that require a whole lot that aren't, and it's a red herring. So a whole lot of intervention, a whole lot of change for something that's not really causing the problem, but it shows up on the test. And here's an overview of the treatment options. Medication. Been there, done that. I'm not discussing your medication. You know about it. That's your thing. Botox. Again, that's your thing. Been there, done that. Botox does work to address those latent muscle trigger points that I have the posters earlier in the video. Supplementation. Magnesium glycinate is really good. There's also Calm, which is a topical one that can be put on that helps to relax muscles. Electrolytes. Potassium. Homeopathic occasionally, if it's well targeted, work really well. Riboflavin, CoQ10, as well as B vitamins. I love elimination because usually it's not what we're putting in, it's the fires that are starting. It's not like adding more that's going to fix us, it's taking away what's causing the fires. So we want to look at dietary triggers, stress, sleep, and environmental triggers. So with lifestyle, good sleep hygiene. Super important. Get off those screens before bed. Be aware of your lighting. Let your body relax. Put yourself in a good mental state before you sleep. Dietary changes. I'm not going back there. Postural analysis and correction. A lot of us, because we sit too much, we're tight along certain lines and we have forward head posture due to work. That's going to exacerbate migraine conditions. Targeted exercise to address that. Yoga, physical therapy, Pilates, stuff like that. Super awesome. Forward head posture, evaluation, and correction. A lot of times it'll be, oh, do this next exercise. That's not really going to work. The whole body has to be addressed. It ties into lower back as well, ties into feet, ties into hips. So, chiropractic, acupuncture, osteopathic, craniosacral, physical therapy. If you go to them and they only do your neck, that's going to lead to symptomatic relief. The whole body, again, has to be addressed in order for this to begin to have long-term resolution. Trigger point elimination. We discussed that a little bit with the trigger point section. My favorite is I do acupuncture, so I'll do trigger point acupuncture. It also can be eliminated through the CBD cream. There's wonderful trigger point cane on like Amazon. You just press that into the trigger point, and that can really help to work through it over time. And going back to everything, why is the muscle tight? A lot of times, it's mental stress holds tight muscles in the body. So there's postural and there's mental emotional. And that's why the next part is meditation. Meditation is to help to slow the mind, to calm the mind, to bring into center presence and being. Breath work, stillness meditation, mindfulness throughout the day. See, this is the thing. Everyone's like, oh, I meditate, I can't meditate, this and that. It's more about bringing yourself through presence and awareness through the day. That's bringing meditation into life. In my opinion, that is what meditation really is. Relaxation habits. Maybe when you find getting stressed, taking a few deep breaths to help the body get physiologically back into homeostasis or balance. Because what happens is stress causes our bodies to be in fight or flight. We are physically expecting to be attacked by a rhinoceros. So that letter that you got from the IRS literally puts you in the state of the rhinoceros being right at your back. And every time you think about it, it puts you back there, puts you back there, puts you back there. Our bodies are designed to run away or to fight, and then it ends, and we're back to normal. When we stay in that heightened state over a period of time, it's extremely destructive. Mindful eating, being present when you eat, get off the phone, sit down, take calming. You should be calm when you eat. This is rest and digest. So be mindful while you eat, tasting your food, chewing it, super important. Mental, spiritual, emotional well-being. This is my favorite part. This is critical to the resolution of migraines. I just told you a little bit about the mind-body connection. The tension is held. That tension being the mental, emotional, spiritual. This is held in the body and manifests as pain. You can think of this as if you're sitting in traffic for 2 hours, you get out of the car, it is not the same as a nice leisurely 2-hour drive. That stress is held in the body. Coaching, incredibly powerful because we cannot see our own blind spots. The coach helps to see and resolve and uncover the blind spots, and collaboratively we work together to find tools to fully incorporate our being and to overcome the limitations and self-sabotaging behaviors. Therapy, working with a qualified and skilled therapist can really help to uncover traumas that you've been holding on to too long. Support groups really, really good because finding like-minded people gives that sense of community, and also they can have answers to the questions that you want to know. They could have been there and done that and come up with ways of managing and working through. Really, really, really powerful. And then trusting in a higher power or in yourself greatly accelerates the healing speed. You can equate this to the placebo effect. When someone believes in a drug, they get better faster. Well, guess what? You are the drug. You have that power to heal. Believe in yourself because you can get better. And belonging to communities and getting to see how other people succeed can give that belief shift that really gives you that strength. So where do you go from here? MomsWithoutMigraines.com has a lot of information about migraines and treatment options. And SparselHealth.com, that's my acupuncture practice. There's a lot of information on the trigger points, acupuncture, and me. So thank you so much for attending my seminar. If you have any questions, you have my contact info. Please reach out. We'll have a conversation. I look forward to hearing from you. I sincerely hope this helps to give you some direction to address your issues. Have a wonderful day.